What's going on, world? Welcome to a brand new episode of Royal Key there on your screen. I'm your host, George Kill. I'm here with Greg Morris, who is the equipment manager of 30 years? Which is amazing. We're here in Hawkeye country.
You're in our Hanson Football Performance Center. It's 4 years old. And when we moved in 4 years ago, we moved in after the Nebraska game over a weekend. The biggest concern was don't miss something, don't lose something. And for God's sakes, if someone wanted their favorite pair of shoes, know where they're at. Yeah. I can tell you after 4 years, and this is honest to God truth today, we didn't lose anything, and we were always able to find what we needed.
I'm assuming, when you move from an old equipment room to a new one, there are different perks such as space, equipment-wise, and for your team, what were the different things that were added to this building that you guys really took advantage of?
In our old building, the majority of our equipment was stored down a hallway. There was a time I put a pedometer on, and I walked within our building getting stuff 4 miles in a day. Well, our advantage is this. All of our equipment is stored in the rolling racks now, and our laundry service is right across the hall, where before we were back and forth up and down the hall all the time.
Now, these space savers, how do you kind of go about organizing things?
So what we've done with our space savers is the stuff that's closer behind me right now. Okay. That's player stuff, player practice.
Okay.
Then we go to player game day issue stuff, coaches stuff, and then our shoes. And then at the back will be our helmets and shoulder pads. 120 plus players and another 40 staff members. You want to be able, if someone needs something, to grab it versus kind of scratch your head and wonder, now where am I looking?
Now, I want you to kind of go through a typical uniform for a player. I know you guys are traditional.
When Hayden Fry started in 1979, the first thing that he wanted to do was change people's mindset. And at the time, the best team in the professional National Football League, the Pittsburgh Steelers, ironically black and gold. So he called the Steelers, they sent a uniform in, I believe it's Terry Bradshaw's at the time, and we modeled it. And that's what we still wear today. We'll come up with an alternate uniform every once in a while, and that's fine. I mean, young people like that stuff today, but if you turn the TV on and you see us, you're gonna see the Tiger Hawk, you're gonna see the black and gold or white, black and gold in our gold pants. People, irregardless of where you're from, if you're a college football fan, you're gonna know that's the Iowa Hawkeyes. When we order jerseys, we order two different styles. One style's for quarterbacks, and this has to be Nate Stanley's. He has a big blouse sleeve. Why? So he's got room to throw, motion. And then the rest of our guys, linemen, skill guys, doesn't matter who you are, have a more tighter cap sleeve, little down, so why? No, we can grab you.
Another interesting thing that you guys have is your helmets.
The helmets that we do here, we've been involved in a study with Rydell on a custom fit helmet to each player. Rydell will come in, they'll scan a player's head with a helmet on, without a helmet on. They'll marry those things together, create the pads that fit that player. Every helmet's made just to fit each player. A lot of schools across the country are doing this right now. We certainly aren't the only one, but we're the only team in the country that every upperclassman has one on. What's going to happen here in the next couple of weeks, Rydell will come in and they'll measure our true freshmen. So at spring football, we'll be 100%. And where that really evolved from, George, is this. The study that we were involved in the last 2 years, although it worked and it worked great and it led to where we're at today, the equipment manager was really uncomfortable about that because I had to choose 7 or 8 guys. And the one thing that Hayden, I think, taught us, and Coach Ferris has continued, is if we're gonna do something for one guy, we're gonna do it for everybody. And I give our administration a ton of credit because when I put the proposal together, the cost of them and what's going on, they agreed to it 100%. On the inside, on the one that I have in my hand, George,
okay,
is a normal what's called a Speed Flex helmet.
Okay.
The same amount of padding is on the inside, it's just differently. The one thing about the custom helmet, less number of pads, but it's more fit to your head. It's a tighter fit, less wiggle. That's the thing they like about it. Shoes are an interesting thing. We order 1,200-1,300 pair a year. Mm-hmm. And that includes their training shoes too. It's kind of interesting here. I would say there was a time 5-6 years ago, guys changed shoes a lot more than they do now.
Yeah.
We don't turn a lot of shoes over. Now, you probably also noticed we did wear black and gold shoes early on for home games. We wore white on the road. After about 3 or 4 weeks of the season, not all our home games, obviously, Coach Ferris decided we were going back to wearing white shoes.
Oh, wow.
He likes white shoes. That's really where it comes from, clean look.
31 years, just finished 31 years. There has to be some interesting things in that office that you accumulated over the years.
Sure. So the first one that I would tell you would be the Iowa-Ohio State ball. That's a date when we had a campus shooting. Probably one of the first, maybe modern time campus shooting, 1990, maybe 89. And we beat Ohio State in Columbus that day. The shooting occurred on campus on that Friday. Tough deal.
Yeah.
Tough deal. The other interesting thing is my firefighter's helmet here. It's a little dusty, it's a little dirty, but that's okay, they're supposed to be. A guy that I worked with, Dean Langstaff, is a retired Iowa City firefighter, and he gave it to me. What it represents to me is, as much time as I spend into this, I'm still a volunteer firefighter. I still enjoy helping people. A lot of people are really surprised to hear that about me, and I've done that 30 years too. The third interesting thing that I would tell you is the picture we took a year ago when we were in New York. A few years ago when our oldest played here, he got a National Football Foundation Award. So I got a chance to go there. We spent 3.5 days there and loved the city. But the significance of the picture is this. Everybody in that picture is a college student but this guy. What that really represents is the best of our country today, I believe. A lot of young people get bad raps, lazy, play with their phones too much, play games too much, do all that stuff, they don't know how to work. Well, these guys represent the best. They're not scared to work, they never complain, they make you laugh, and we have fun together.
Now, Greg, I have to ask, I saw that coming into the trophy room, 11 big championships. How many of those did you see?
From 1980 to now, and I don't know the number, I wouldn't want to guess, but I was here for the first one with Hayden in 80, and then Kirk's Big West Championship a couple years ago, and I last year went in the whole thing in Indy, but every championship is special. What I would tell you, whether it's the Alamo Bowl, Holiday Bowl, the Orange Bowl Championship, Outback Bowl Championships, the Capital One Bowl Championship, each team different, each team fun. What's the weirdest thing I'll ever get? I mean, you're in sunny Southern California, you wake up on Christmas Day, you see lights and palm trees. I mean, you don't see that here.
Let's go over here to some of these team photos.
If you look at the Orange Bowl one with Coach Ferentz Clappin, that's Adrian Claiborne right next to him. He's still in the league. Micah Hyde right here. He's with Buffalo yet. Person I would to this day call a dear friend who's with the Patriots organization, Andre Tippett, number 99. We go back and forth a little bit on Fridays ahead of the games. He wishes us well, and I wish he and the New England Patriots well. And just the love that people have for Hayden. I often tell people, young players coming in here, I think the most important thing is to find out what the Tiger Hawk means. Where did it come from? When he got here, our athletic department was not winning a thing. Our wrestling program wasn't bad, but other than that, we were average. I mean, probably below average, with all due respect to everybody that was here. But what he did is he brought a mindset that we can, irregardless of what sport, compete and compete to win. And that's something I think everybody that has been around here, like me, fan base, understands that. A guy that's in our building every day that played here and coached here for a long time, Bernie Wyatt, has got a great saying. The journey isn't to get to the top. The journey is to try and stay on top.
For those that are watching that don't know much about Iowa football culture, what does that hawk mean?
First of all, signifies something that is nowhere else in the country. There are other mascots, there are other things, but the Tiger Hawk stands by itself all alone. If you go back and research a little bit and understand that ahead of that Tiger Hawk, average, probably didn't have an identity as an athletic department, maybe even as an institution within reason. But now when freshmen come on campus, what's the first thing they do is go to the bookstore and buy something with the Tiger Hawk. The Tiger Hawk represents class, doing things right, doing your best, and finishing. We're in Kinnick Stadium, our home team locker room. Our locker room is different than some places because we only use it on game day. Some teams, their football facility is within their home team locker room. We aren't. So what we do is on Thursdays, our players pack their bag, things they need for the game, and then our student managers, the best crew in the land as I've tagged them, move everything over, set it up. The equipment staff, we move their jerseys, their pants, and all their clothing over. Usually by noon on Thursday, we're setting ready to go for a Saturday game day.
Now, Greg, you said this is the nicest Big Ten locker room in the entire conference, and it's pink. You got to tell me why.
So, other than Minnesota, I give you those guys credit because that stadium's brand new. You got great room up there. It's nice in here because you have room. We have 76 lockers. We have a full coach's locker room across the hall. We've got extra hooks on the wall for more people. Why is it pink? In the early 80s when Hayden was coaching, he's a psychology major. He decided that pink would be a calming, soothing effect. And if you look at our record from 1980, 79 to right now at home, it's pretty good. This is all pink. The urinals back here are pink. The floor is pink. The bathroom stalls are pink. Like I said, the nice thing about it is, aside from that, is that when teams get here, they got room to work. I mean, when we walked in, there's a full equipment room, so you're not putting stuff in corners. There's a full athletic training room. The other thing I'll say about our place when people move in, it's clean. Even though it's pink, we do take great pride in making sure that when they move in, things are done right.
Well, Greg, I've never done a conclusion, an ending, an outro in a bathroom, but why not do it for the first time in the pink bathroom?
Right? In the pink room, right, George?
Greg, you're awesome, man. Thank you so much for inviting us out and checking out Iowa football culture.
Thank you, George. You know, I'm gonna give you a hug because I'm a hugger. I just want to thank you for making the trip up here. I know it's a little snowy from where you guys came from, but you know what? I had a ball.